frickin' right, fellas. It's Rick the Stick. Reporting in here with a real hot, quick, golden treat for you. It's late at night here, but I'm sucking down a big old COC. That's a cup of coffee here. I wanted to finish it off, but it's getting so freaking late. I said, Ricky, let's just turn the camera on, suck the COC in front of the masses. We're talking about Stan Efferding. Okay? You know why? Because I want to say, hey, I got Mama here. I don't expect her. She's folding laundry. Mm-hmm. She knows that's not my role.
Stop it.
Kidding, Mama. Kidding. It is my role to fold the laundry. It's also my.
Literally never do it.
It is my role to put the clothes away.
You never do it.
How many years has it been?
He has 2 closets, and they're just full of piles of clothes.
Oh, is it October 2022? I said I would put my clothes away.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting to put the clothes away.
Then you got annoyed with me, like, oh, but you have to say too that I was doing it for you, and then you told me to stop because I don't remember why. You thought it was.
I said I could do it myself.
Yeah, you're like,
that was in fact a fallacy.
Yeah.
It's 3 years has proved I cannot do it myself.
And now it's so overwhelming that I can't do it for you because now it's outside of my realm.
All right, we don't have time for this.
All right.
So I said, Mama, let's turn on some classic bodybuilding footage. But here's the deal, fellas. You're going through the mock video productions, and a lot of them, you know, they don't bring too much gusto and cojones. You know who does? Stan Efferding. I saw his DVD. I said, holy buckets. We want to talk about horse cockery. This is Mr. Horsecock himself, Stan Efferding, once known as the world's strongest IFBB pro, world record holder. I went 2 hours through here. He eats like Applebee's or something for an hour. We could skip that. He also horses some tremendous bench press. But I wanted to see the good stuff. So I skipped through that, fellas. I've never seen this before. Mama can attest. Is this a fallacy or is this indeed what happened, Mama? I just rewound it 10 seconds because I saw something. I said, holy buckets, Mama, look at that. And she was like, holy buckets. And I said, you know what? Let's turn the camera on. This is something to talk about with the fellas. I wasn't planning on making a video right now. As you guys know, Rick the Stick has been releasing videos once in a blue moon. But now we've freaking got back to back. Because this is something that is too good to not talk about with the fellas. Here we go. He's deadlifting, by the way. Look at it. Watch this. Watch this. Holy buckets. So you can imagine the first time I saw it, I was like, what the hell is happening? I was like, oh, is he bent over rowing it? He put it down, and he did it again. And it's like, guys, I showed Mama that, and I think she thought maybe I was going to throw some shade at it. I said, listen, I don't hate it. In fact, I kind of love it. I said, maybe this is something that I can take to the freaking trials and tribulations, right? Yeah. Put that to the test myself, because I've been an advocate in the past of doing Romanian deadlifts just shy of locking out, pulsing. You can't see my hips, okay, but below the knee, and boom, just like right about here, pumping them like this, and really that's basically what he's doing as well, you know. And originally I think I got that from a man named Dmitry Klokov, okay, another fellow cocker, right? So I'm just looking at this and I'm astounded by, you know, it's like, you know, because like once you get past here, you freaking got that sucker. Hardest part, breaking it off the floor, getting just above the knees, right? With a nice flat back. Okay, by the way, this is a Jujimufu sleeveless hoodie. And it's just amazing. I figured I would wear this on camera because we brought him up the other day. Frick. and we said, hey, listen here, Juji, get those freaking 200-pound dumbbells, okay? What the frick am I doing? I just totally ruined this. So get those 200-pound dumbbells. So you know what? I figured, hey, this is an incredible sleeveless hoodie, super comfortable, stretch, okay? You know what I mean? Maybe this will help him. Maybe me wearing this and showing how incredible quality this is can get him the supplies required to buy two, or give him a little kick in the arse to get those 200-pound dumbbells. Feel what I'm saying? But anyways, there's 40 minutes of this video left, and I have no idea where this is going. I've never seen this before right now, so let's watch it. Let's see what happens. So he's got, that was 5 plates. Oh wait, that was that 4 plates. I think that was 4 plates he did that with. Or was that 5? I don't remember. So we got 5 plates here. All right. I'm really, okay. We're up to 6 plates now. I could have sworn he just, or was doing you 495. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. Let's see what happens. Okay, now he's doing full range of motion. So, what's the deal? Did he just pulse them when they're so light? I don't know, because I looked at Mama and I was astounded, flabbergasted, befuddled, bewildered. I was like, well, there's got to be a method of the madness here. When does he quit the pulsing? You know, to save the energy. Keep some reps in the tank. Keep some explosive energy. You know? And now he's full range of motion. I don't know. Now this is an epic flop all of a sudden. I was expecting to see something bewildering. Like just breaking it off the floor an inch and then moving up to the next weight. I've actually done that in the past as well. So something that's worked for me, guys, I guess this video, in terms of education, it's totally out the window already. I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe there's something to learn here. But something that's worked for me in the past, because sometimes in the past things worked and then they stopped working. Check this out. If anyone's tried this before, if you're going for a PR and your top warm-up set is like hard and you can't, I know it sounds stupid, but sometimes I promise you, like mainly for trap bar deadlift, because that's a lift that you can just grind out. Like your form doesn't have to be textbook locked in. You can grind out a heavy trap bar. I would do one of my top warm-ups and I like couldn't even break it off the floor. Like I don't know what it was. Or I would just feel it, or maybe even just move it like an inch, like I said. And then I would put a weight, like if I could fail a warm-up, but then I would put a heavier weight on and would end up, and I would hit it, okay? And I think because, first of all, foremost, we know this, that it's a mindset, right? So those hardest sets when moving the big boy weights, the hardest sets are the top warm-up sets because they're hard, they're heavy, but they're not exciting, right? So, and this is not a technique to try. I'm not saying fail warm-ups and then even go up in weight. But I'm just saying, sometimes if you do fail a warm-up and you go up in weight, you might hit it because the adrenaline, the enthusiasm, the excitement is there. And adrenaline, enthusiasm, excitement is an extremely freaking powerful tool to utilize, right? So you can't always go off of your warm-ups. Sometimes you do go off your warm-ups, and if they're super fast, you know a PR is there. If you're feeling snappy and explosive and excited, a PR is there. But all I'm saying is sometimes you might fail a warm-up. It doesn't mean that you don't necessarily have a PR in you. It just means that the circumstances weren't right to smash that top warm-up set. Okay? Now here's a technique that I've done with much success in the past. I don't really do it anymore. I think probably because I'm getting older and I can't go for broke as much as I did in the past. But if I failed a warm-up or like whatever, felt a warm-up, maybe I moved an inch or something, I would go above and beyond. I would super exceed my max weight. So say it was, I don't even know, because I haven't done this recently, so I got to pick a number from the past of things I used to do. Say I was going for, frick, mama,
Excuse me.
killing my train of thought. All right, say I was back in the day, right? 900-pound trap bar deadlift or whatever. And let's say I failed 860 pounds or something like that. I couldn't break it off the floor. I would put like 960 pounds on. It's crazy, right? It's like, you're never gonna hit that. Of course, you're right, you wouldn't. But you could try with all of your gusto and all your might to get that sucker, to feel it, to hit like a true isometric. Like, you're trying as hard as you can, overcoming isometric, right? Feel it, but don't put too much into it, but give it a go. Give it a real try. And then, strip 50 pounds off, and immediately, strip 50 pounds off, and depends on how much effort you put into it, but whatever. A couple minute rest, strip 50 pounds off, and then go for it, right? Because a lot of times, it's just, the nervous system is responsible for everything, right? So sometimes if you can trick your brain into moving bigger weight, you can freaking do it, right? Because it's like, holy fuck, it's heavy. You take 50 pounds off and all of a sudden it's like, hey, that doesn't feel that heavy anymore. But you know what? It was a freaking PR. It's crazy. And that's why I'm such a big fan of doing like band resistance and doing eccentric hooks and all that kind of stuff. Resistance bands on the deadlifts, because like I said, they trick you. They trick your freaking nervous system into horse-cocking huge loads. So if you guys haven't heard me say this before, I'll quickly run over. I'll do a summary of what it is. It might even be easier to start with the eccentric hooks, which I use for squatting, Romanian deadlifts, and benching. Benching is the easiest one to think about. Eccentric hooks. There's these hooks that you have like a plate on. You can put as much weight on as you want. You can make it ultra heavy, but you might risk injury. But what I like to do for bench, for instance, is have the hooks on each side. The hooks weigh 11 pounds a piece with a 25 on each hook. So nothing too crazy, nothing that's going to tear your pec. But now you're looking at freaking 72 pounds. 72 extra pounds. So what they do is you unrack it, 72 extra pounds. So say I'm going for a 500-pound bench press. I would unrack it with 572 pounds. And it's like, holy bucket, it's like fighting tooth and nail. Like, this could tear my tendons. This could really injure me. And as you get to about here, the hooks touch the ground, they fall off, and then instantly in your hands, you feel 72 pounds lighter. So you might be able to blast that 500 with so much speed and force that you never could if you didn't trick your nervous system, right? So for the deadlifting, I like to use that same method, but with tons of resistance bands in the middle of the bar. So I'll have a hook, or I'll be in the rack and I'll strap the bands to this one side. They'll go over the bar between my legs to the other side, and I'll start with like 10 resistance bands. 1 plate each side, 10 resistance bands. 2 plates each side, 9 resistance bands. 3 plates each side, 8 resistance bands. 4 plates each side, 7 resistance bands. 5 plates each side, 6 resistance bands. And it's like super heavy because you have no idea. You just know that it's a ton of tension, but you don't know exactly how much you're moving. And you're getting pretty much resistance right off the bottom anyways. So in your mind, you're like, this is only 5 plates, it's only 495. When theoretically, yes, it's 495 of plates and barbell, but it might be adding 300 pounds of resistance bands. So, like I said, I take 1 band off each set, but then there's always that point where it's like 5 or 6 plates where you just fail and you can't do it. You're like, well, frick, let me take 3 bands off. You take 3 bands off, now it's 6 plates per side with like three resistance bands, and that sucker flies up. You're like, holy shit, that was 585 pounds plus however much resistance. You're like, if I can do that. So now all of a sudden you put 7 plates per side, so we're up to 675. It's like, well, let me just take another band off. And it might be kind of like a slower grind. It's not as easy as that first initial taking 3 bands off or whatever. You're like, holy buckets, man. That was 675 plus 2 resistance bands. Now I'm going to put another plate on, and I'm going to take both these resistance bands off. And, sometimes it flies up, sometimes it doesn't. But the point is, it's just kind of like a mindset manipulation thing too. Because first of all, you're doing these light weights with the plates and the barbell, but then it's tons of additional resistance, and you don't know how much it is. But you're also like tricking yourself into being like, this should fly up. This is pencil neck weight, when in fact it's not. It's true horse cockery, but in your mind it's pencil neck weight. So you're just putting more into it. But then it's also like, wait a second, these bands might be giving me way more resistance than I expected. Let me take the bands off. And then it's just like, holy buckets, I didn't realize that those bands were adding 100 extra pounds of resistance. So it's working in multiple ways to trick you into horsing huge loads. So that's kind of like what I'm saying, a very primitive way of doing max deadlift. Like, I can't move it. You know, like if I break it off the floor, it's like, but I can't lock it out. Well, what if you put, 20, 50 more pounds on and you try to break it off the floor and maybe you only move it this much, but it's like, okay, let me strip that 50 pounds off now, and what you could only maybe get above your knee but you couldn't lock out, now all of a sudden you have so much speed off the floor that you can overcome that sticking point and lock it out. You get what I'm saying here, guys? That is a freaking valuable golden tidbit. It's stuff like that that takes it to the next level, right? Because you can do all these programs and you can just, for specificity, you can get really good at lifts and get really strong at them, but at some point you're going to plateau. And then it's those types of mental manipulation, CNS primer tricks and all that will really get you to the next level. And what's the next level? Well, listen here. A lot of people can get to like a 6-plate, 585 deadlift. It's really hard to get to like a 675 or more so. Freaking frick! I hate when it shows like old pictures of Chloe in the background, which is fine. No big deal. Just screensaver, old family photos, whatever. Just throwing it out there for the freaks and the geeks. But yeah. So like with those tactics and those tricks, like you can get to that next level, which is the hardest part. But like that kind of stuff, it's amazing, guys. Like it's amazing. Also just writing down goals and eye of the tiger and being consistent with it, like between the freaking CNS manipulation, mindset manipulation, overcoming tactics and all that, and being laser focused, dialed in, having goals for every workout. Like today I will do this, tomorrow I will do that, or whatever, and next week I will do this. Truly focused, truly hungry for it. Like, we are capable of so much more than people give it credit for. You know what I mean? Like, we're an amazing species. Like, with whatever we truly set our heart to, like, listen, gorillas are powerful, absolute powerful specimens. But we could someday be there as well. It's the human performance, the upper echelon, the ceiling, the glass ceiling. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mom? Is this making any sense?
I mean,
like, listen.
I don't think we'll overall ever be as
yes, of course we will not be, but I'm just saying, like, it's becoming more and more common now that people are deadlifting like 1,000 pounds, whereas even just freaking, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago or whatever, like, that was unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, believe it to freaking achieve it, right? And we each have our own ceilings and upper plateaus, impossible plateaus to break through, but it's all possible, right? And like, freaking 20 more years from now, people aren't going to be like, oh, 500 kilograms or 501 or 505. It's going to be freaking 520. You know what I'm saying? 100 years from now, it's going to be 600 kilos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just because of things like this, like people finding these tactics, overcome them, these mental blockades, right? Like a lot of times, like we are such a smart, intelligent species that like we perceive things as impossible, and our perception is reality. So if we're perceiving like, well, this has never been done before, I certainly can't do this, right? But all it takes is that one person to do it. Like what was it, the 4-minute mile or the 3-minute mile or something insane like that? The first person to run it. You know what I'm talking about, Mom? It's a very historic thing. Like nobody ever thought it was possible. Can you Google it for me real fast, Google?
Yeah.
The first person to run the 3-minute mile or something here, so that I'm not just speaking mumbo jumbo. Pull it up real fast. Let me know what we're talking about.
First person to run a 3-minute mile.
Yeah, that way you guys can know exactly what I'm talking about here, because
No one has ever.
okay.
Oh wait. Roger Bannister was the first person to break the 4-minute mile barrier. Oh, hold on.
Frick, Mama.
Yeah, so that's not a thing, honey.
The 3-minute mile's not a thing
No.
yet. Okay, but maybe Roger Bannister. Maybe that's who I was thinking. So that's the first person to break the 4-minute mile. Mama, are you reading the You know, is it saying, did people deem that impossible before it happened?
Hold on.
Mama. Frick.
I think so. He ran a 3-minute 59-second mile.
Okay, so, well, whatever. And, you know, I know this from a fact. I feel like I've watched this movie. They made a movie on it or something where it was like deemed impossible. Nobody could do it. This freaking guy did it. And now all of a sudden, Mama, can you Google it? Like, how many people broke the 4-minute mile once he did it?
How many people have now broken the 4-minute mile? 2,000 athletes.
2,000 people. So what was once deemed impossible, this man set forth and he said, it's not impossible. This is indeed something that if you truly want it, you train hard, you're freaking laser focused, and 2,000 other people have rose to the occasion. Not rose. Have risen to the occasion.
I think it's risen.
Doesn't matter, Mama. You know what I'm saying? What do you want?
Just the book, please.
Mama wants to read more books. We're talking about human evolution here. And you want to read fiction. Does that make any sense, Mama? That's what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, like once you know it's possible.
Exactly.
It's hard to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't even remember how we started talking about this, but well, the little tips and tricks to like convince yourself that like you can do this. And that's why I think using like eccentric hooks and band resistance, different ways to use bands for increased resistance, but you don't even know what you're lifting, right? That's why I used to love reverse bands, but the reverse bands make you think that you're lifting more. And once you take the bands off, you're like, holy buckets, wow, that was way heavier than I expected. It's the opposite with the band tension, because you're like, man, this is pencil neck weight. I should be able to do this. So you perceive it as pencil neck weight, and because you perceive it as pencil neck weight, your body treats it like pencil neck weight, despite you might be having 200 more pounds of resistance. I'm telling you guys, pretty much every deadlift PR I hit, every deadlift PR I hit, it was because of that. It was literally doing that technique. Not literally everyone, but 8 out of 10 of my biggest deadlift PRs was that technique. And there would be more. And benching, same thing. Those are eccentric hooks. And I did the same band resistance technique with the benching too. It works just as well. Honestly, it works amazing for the bench presses. I don't know why I stopped doing it. Because I go to commercial gyms. I bench usually at commercial gyms. Then I got the freaking bicep and the shoulder tendonitis, and I couldn't do a barbell bench anymore. So now I'm just, working back up to pencil, neck, dumbbell weights, and we'll get back to it. But you guys, don't let this go in one ear and out the other. Honestly, if there's any advice I can give, if there's anything to remember me by, it's that I am the strongest advocate of this band warm-up manipulation technique. People are like, oh, benching with bands is good. The strength curve. No, it has nothing to do with the strength curve. That's not the point. Whatever. It's nothing to do with that. It's purely so that you're moving more weight than you think you are. So that when you do get stuck and you get plateaued or I can't go up anymore, you strip those bands and holy buckets, I think I got a PR in me. I didn't even realize how heavy this weight was with these bands because I have no idea how much weight I'm moving with the bands. You just totally freaking manipulate the mindset. What do you think he's sucking down right now? He's got some sort of pink drink. I would imagine it's a carb powder. All right, that's another trick for the pros as well. I've talked about this numerous times, guys. I think one of the biggest game-changing, a lot of times people during their workouts, what do you got? You got some freaking coconut water. You got some electrolytes. You got some amino acids and all that. That stuff's all great, sure. It's great. But the most effective thing I think you can do if you want to be horse-like, thick, stout, girthy, rotund, bulbous, curvaceous, did I just say rotund? Yes. Is a carb powder. Different strokes for different folks. I like to work out fasted early in the morning too. But if I'm trying to getting serious about getting bulbous, you gotta keep the blood sugar high when you're pumping those weights, right? Easiest thing to do, for a little bit there, I was doing a half gallon of orange juice during my workouts. One of the guys I was training with recently was a huge advocate of Vitargo, so I was drinking that. In the past, I've done the Carbolin, I've also done freaking fig bars, you know, as you guys know, sucked a lot of those down. Anytime I do the carb powders with the workout, obviously it's energy, carbs, freaking energy, right? Sustained freaking energy. Like, yeah, sucking a COC is awesome. Sucking down a pre-workout, all that, great. That's freaking instant whop. Okay, right? And don't get it twisted. We're talking about a cup of coffee, okay? Just to hammer that home. But that stuff's great. But freaking energy, carbohydrates with it, right? Keep the freaking blood sugar high. You want to get bulbous, you want to get stacked, get your blood sugar high. It's kind of like bro science, but it's kind of not because it's totally understood. But like working out, everyone's like, you don't grow in the gym, you grow when you rest. And in the gym, it's the most catabolic phase, which sure, it's true, you're causing, you know, muscle damage, you're breaking yourself down. But what's like the most anabolic hormone that us humans have is insulin. How do you freaking spike this insulin? Sugar, carbs, whatever, just food basically. So like a sugar, honey, fig bars, anything, whatever, Vitargo, Carbolin, anything during your workout is going to keep you more anabolic than catabolic in a sense, I suppose. Like if nothing else, I guess it kind of speeds up the recovery process more so, but also bigger pumps. So if you're trying to move the most weight possible, like the girthier you are, like mass moves mass, you might as well just keep sucking down energy. Like that's another thing too. It's like when you get into the carbs in or during your workout or anything like, or you're just eating during the workout. It's another hot, quick golden tip that I've given for the longest time now. It's like, hey, Figure, I want to gain weight. Like, how many times should I eat or what should I, whatever. It's like, okay, well, first things first, consume calories while you work out. Because for the most part, like between when you drive to the gym, or you're at the gym, or you drive back or whatever, I don't know about you guys, but that's a 3-hour chunk of my day. 100% 3 hours. Right? So you could eat breakfast, then you go to the gym for 3 hours. If you take your recovery seriously, you take your body seriously, you take your horsepower seriously, you freaking sleep for 9 hours. So you have 15 hours left of the day. 15 hours, 3 hours out of 15 is freaking, what is that, Mom? What's the math on that?
I didn't even hear.
What is 3 hours of 50, what is 3, how much percentage is 3 hours out of a 15-hour day? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 20%, right? That's 20% of your awake day.
Yeah.
That's 20% of your day that you're freaking catabolic, that, you know what I mean? That you could be just consuming something. Again, so you got a freaking, you know, world's strongest IFBB pro, whatever, but more important than anything, world record holder. And that's just like, you know, most bulbous folk are probably they're gonna know the value of an intra workout carb source for sure. That almost looked like watermelon juice for a minute, which I think honestly would be the best thing. Like I'll tell you something right now, especially when I was working on the garage, what I would do back in the day, I don't do this, I don't know why I don't do this anymore, probably because I don't work out at home nearly as much, but I would have a whole watermelon. I would consume an entire watermelon during my workout, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. You literally just flesh it out, you scoop it out, you put it in a blender, you blend it up, it just makes a water, basically, a freaking watermelon. Water. It just makes a freaking delicious watermelon water. So easy to drink, but freaking quick carbs, tons of magnesium, tons of citrulline. Watermelon is one of the most potent sources of citrulline. So it's just like, this sucker is loaded with pump agents and freaking hydration and just anabolic sugars. Oh, let's go, Stan! He's got 7 plates. Let's go, Stan! Yes! Before he rips that sucker too, that technique there of freaking like violently and aggressively yanking the slack out of the bar, that's something else that I feel like it's just kind of this neural awakening technique. I've noticed that as well when I do that. If I'll do that from behind the back deadlift specifically, because that sucker is kind of hard to get in position, you get those straps really tight, and I'll kind of yank and jerk that sucker as hard as I can, and then I'll take a big breath in, reset, and then explode it off the floor. And kind of the same thing with the deadlifting. Get that grip really nice and tight. Yank that sucker. Kind of just like it's almost like an activation for like your back, in my opinion. So there's another absolute freak. Gingercules is his name. One of the strongest people in the world. He does some sort of like jerks that sucker, yanks and jerks that sucker, and then instantly pulls. Like kind of like you get like a stretch reflex out of your upper body before you rip it off the ground. That's strong because it's beltless, right? 675, beltless. Personally, so this is obviously depends on how good you are using a belt, how experienced, how much you get out of it. I get a ton out of using a belt. So like if I pulled 675 like that, 100% I could throw a belt on, guaranteed pull 765 at that exact same speed. I don't know about stand states. He's throwing the straps on now. So hey, I used to warm up that way as well. Warm up without straps, mixed grip, and then throw the straps on for the top sets. But then it hit me like a ton of freaking bricks. I was like, why am I warming up with a mixed grip if I'm going to end up just putting straps on anyways? Because if you're thinking about it, like your position here is not even remotely similar. Imagine doing supinated rows with, overhand, like pronated rows, right? It's different. It feels totally different. So you're warming up, again, this sucker all hot and like your back is in one position here, and all of a sudden you're switching here. Do you see like that? Look at that, look at that. Do you see the difference there? So that's how I was like, well, I'm only gonna do overhand, right? And I warm up with no thumbs because when I use straps, I don't use thumbs. So it's like specificity. Like if you want to perfect a skill, like freaking, the practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect freaking execution or whatever. So like warm up exactly how you're gonna max out, right? So I switched to that, and there was a point. I mean, it might be a bit excessive, but depends. Sometimes I would even put my straps on for one plate. It's not because it's a grip issue, obviously. It's just because I want to warm up every set the same way that I'm going to approach exploding through top max. So even if I had one plate, I'd put the straps on. I would start on my knees. I would jump up into position and then pull that sucker as hard and fast as possible. Why? Because I need to perfect my setup. I need to perfect my ritual for horse cockery, because really that's the thing that makes, every pro at anything in any industry, any little niche thing, like has their like warm-ups and their habits and their rituals that lead to their freaking success. You know what I'm saying? Like a musician, like you freaking best guitar players in the world. They don't just go out there and freaking they practice and they have their drills or their techniques or their metronomes or whatever they do to get really, you know what I mean? Because you want to be at your best, you got to do everything the same, because you know that like X, Y, and Z is going to lead to success. Whereas if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you might be off, you might be sloppy, like you don't know. You want to control every aspect that is indeed able to be controlled, right? Control the controllable. If something's not in your control, don't even worry about it. But what you can control, freaking control that sucker. If you can control it, do it, right? it's perfecting all the little things, and it's routines. And like, not to say one person's routine is going to work for everyone. It's no, but you find what works for you and freaking do it. If something works for you, do it every time. If something doesn't work for you, don't do it at all. Don't try to make it work. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't freaking work for you. Get rid of it. Music's just cranky. You can't even hear Stan. He's giving rich golden tidbits, and his freaking guitar is just. Ooh. Can't hear a word you're saying, Stan. That's some tasty riffs. We got 2 songs playing at the same time.
So we're going to pyramid up to the meet. We've got a 10-week run before the Mr. Olympia. So what we're going to try and do is work up to 700 pounds today. Try to get a few reps here, and then gradually, over the course of the next 10 weeks, I'll add some weight each week.
700?
And maybe come down to 3 reps.
Frick, that's it?
Until I get to the meet.
I want to see him horsecock mid-800s. I know he's capable of it. Let's just see what he does. Okay, here we go. What do we got? I think he got 675 on still. Oh, he's got 7 bills. He's going mixed grip again, huh? Man. Holy buckets! Pretty impressive set of 4 considering the way he did that 675 warm-up. I did not think he had 700 for 4 in him. I thought he'd throw a belt on, he'd throw some wrist wraps on, but that's frick, Stan. Frick! Great set. Is he doing nice stretching?
It's on heavy day, it's pretty much just trying to get as much deadlifting in as we can. And then, like with chest, we cycle the workouts so that next time I'll do ancillary exercises.
That's smart. I mean, listen, guys. It's not rocket science. He said on a heavy day, just get as many deadlifts in as he can. I agree. Like, personally, Mama, what did I do at the gym yesterday? I literally just deadlifted. And we were there for, 2 hours? And that's it. And afterwards, like, all right, let's go. You're cooked. After heavy deadlifts, if you're really putting your freaking heart and your soul into it, truly going heavy, like not half arsing it, like you got nothing left. The battery's totally drained. Plus, your body's going to get freaking thick, stout, and dense. You don't need to do anything else. He's saying, save the accessory list for a different day. Yeah, absolutely. Frick. Certainly not going to do bent over rows with any respect to weight after deadlifting that much, or pull-ups. Maybe you could decompress a little bit, but just you're cooked after that. Like, anytime. So my biggest thing is, and obviously I'm nothing compared to freaking Stan, world record holder and all that, but I'm saying this is gold. But like personally for me, if you just care at all about what I say, like my favorite thing for the most part is upper, lower. Keep it as simple as possible in regards to like what's a good upper body lift? Bench? Okay, cool. So all my freaking battery for the most part is going to go into the bench press. Whatever juices I have left, maybe I'll do one accessory after that. The next day, I'll freaking lower body day. Squat. Everything's going to go into squatting. Whatever juices I have left, maybe I'll do freaking phony, baloney, jabroni, leg extension or leg curl or something. But for the most part, everything's going into the squat. The next day, upper body day again. I don't know what's a good big meat and potatoes lift? Freaking overhead press. Everything's going into that. If I got anything left, maybe I'll do some freaking lateral raises or something like that. Lower body day, maybe do a freaking deadlift variation. Everything's going into that. And then the next day, I'm probably pretty cooked from doing all these big heavy lifts, and I'm gonna kind of want a pencil line day. You know what I'm saying? So then maybe I'll just do some, this kind of bullshit for the most part. Do some machines or something, right? It's a feel-good day. It's a pump day. A pump good, feel-good day. A nervous system recovery day, in a sense. That's how I see it. Like, I don't need a day off. I need a nervous system recovery day. Like, doing some pump work, that's a day off. It feels good. It's easy, right? People say, but you could go heavy on the machines. I know you can go heavy on the machines. But if I want to go heavy and crazy on something, for the most part, I'm going to want to do it on a freeway. You know what I'm saying? And then if I'm still not recovered the next day and I don't have much like adrenaline in me, I need another kind of low adrenaline day. I mean, that's really kind of how I broke it down. It's like high adrenaline days and low adrenaline days, right? Because like if you don't have adrenaline, don't expect to be strong, right? If you're lethargic and tired, like you might as well just do some pump work. Your strength's not going to be there. But like after a pump day, basically, you should be good the next day. Or maybe you need 2 pump days, like freaking leg extensions, leg curls, calf raises, dick around on some like Bulgarian split squats or hack squats or something like that. But then get back to it, and then the next day you're all right. You should get the freaking juices flowing again for a heavy barbell thing. And for the most part, it's all pretty minimal volume. Like, stand here going super hard, super heavy on these deadlifts. And people are like, I need a month off after a heavy deadlift session. My goodness, Tater. Maybe you need a month off if you did those deadlifts like that, and then afterwards you did bent over rows or dumbbell rows and the lat pull downs and seated rows and then bicep work and all that. But like, just doing that, like, especially sucking down a carb source, taking big breaks in between. Yeah, it's hard, it's heavy, your nervous system's gonna be rocked, your hands are gonna be shaking, but you should be good the next day because you didn't really do that much volume. You went hard and heavy, absolutely, but you didn't really do that much volume. How many sets did he really do? I mean, we saw him with 4 plates or 5, whatever it was. He moved it a couple inches. It wasn't until 6 plates. Yeah, he did that. Was 6 plates, looked hard, looked heavy. 7 plates, looked hard, looked heavy. And then he did a set of 4 with 700. He did 3 sets, basically. And how many reps total? Like, I don't know. How many reps did he do? Was it like 7 reps total? It's not that much.
The chins, log pulley rows, lat pull down, 1 arms, or T-bars. Just a couple sets of each. That'll be a workout. And then we repeat some more exercises. And then the third workout.
He's probably saying some gold. But I will say this. You guys want to hear his gold that he's spitting? Watch this video. Mock Video Productions. Stan Efferding, like, holy buckets! Is this a new training session? Are we gonna have time to watch this, or should we save this for a different one, Mama?
Probably save it, right?
Save this for a different one. Yeah, I think he's benching with Johnny Horsecock. Pampers. Frick. I think that's a sign, right?
Yeah.
Listen, he's got some bench and stuff. I think his bench press is way more impressive than his deadlift. I would love to watch it with the fellas. We're 43 minutes right now. We got to watch a Pampers ad that's 55 seconds. So I think we're gonna tap out there. I think you guys hopefully got some rich, golden, valuable tidbits that you will apply. Give them a try. Don't let them go in one ear out the other. Like, oh, it's stupid. I'm gonna stick to this, tried and true, proven method. Because listen, if something's whatever proven through some journals or whatever people that put so much stock into, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the perfect thing for you, right? Like, for instance, like, I think for me to be at my best in terms of like deadlifting strength, just bulbosity. So first of all, where do we even begin? Bulbosity, rotund curvaceousness. My body responds the best to heavy pulling. And I know this for a fact, like, because I've gone through so many phases, guys. I've benched every single day. I've done overhead presses almost every single day. I've done just cookie cutter standard bodybuilding, like the Arnold program, which is awesome. Arnold program is great, right? Done that. I've done like push-pull legs type stuff. I've done, big movements with lots of accessories. Tried all of it. And personally, everything goes full circle personally for me, I feel like I get the best results in terms of obviously horse cockery and strength, but also just freaking curvaceous thickness, you know, just stout girth by doing a lot of heavy pulling, like deadlift variations and stuff. Whereas some other people might not. They might just get an injured back, right? And then, how do your arms get, you know, stout and voluminous? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, like different strokes for different folks, brother. We got to find what works. But like, so I'm kind of going back to the drawing board and I'm experimenting again, where it's like, what if I, you know, do some sort of pulling variation almost every single day, right? And I've done this a lot in the past, right? I used to deadlift every single day, but I don't do it because I think it's hardcore. Like I've seen some people like they're doing this stuff and it's like they're plateaued. It's like, why are you doing it? If you're plateaued, why are you doing it? Like, yeah, it's hardcore in a sense, but like if you're not getting anywhere with it, then don't do it. Switch it up. But like I think for me, if I want to get peaked deadlift strength, right? Finally get to that freaking 800-pound deadlift. Like I have to do it frequently, but not the same lift. It can't be a conventional deadlift frequently because that's just how you plateau and get hurt and all that stuff.
Why do you have the Pampers ad still on?
Mom, because I don't find. Mom, freaking A.
It's just funny. You don't need the Pampers ad.
Okay, well that's because I was going to turn it off, but I'm getting on a point right now. Okay. Don't kill my train of thought. Frick, now I'm looking at diapers being spread and I'm talking about...
Yeah.
Mom!
Why did you just turn it off?
Who cares?
I don't know.
You're so strange.
I'm strange.
Yeah, who cares if there's a Pampers
Strange
ad?
to
Who cares if there's a Pampers ad, Mama? It's an
I
ad. If
feel
these...
like a TV being off is better than just looking
Yeah, well, I
at
kind of want to see at
Pampers.
this point what they're going to talk about, but fine. Yeah, we don't even have time to talk about that anyways.
I don't think it's that weird to say you could maybe turn off the TV.
Yeah, but I wanted to see... Yeah, who cares? Whatever. Okay. So, yesterday I did Romanian deadlifts. Today I did like a high rack pull, just with some shrugs. Just doing a kind of a pulling variation almost every single day. Will I do something tomorrow? Depends on how I recover from these past 2 days. But like, I find that maybe like doing along like a Romanian deadlift, a rack pull, and then a pull from the floor, like those, doing those three, and then kind of taking a day off and then repeating and something along those lines. I think that's pretty good because one's going to be very hamstring, glute dominant, right? This high rack pull, it's just upper back basically for the most part. From the floor, it's, you know, you got a lot of leg drive. There's like more mobility involved with it, like everything. And then you got a kind of a rest day, or not a rest day, but like, you know, a pump day or something like that. Let those pulling muscles recover. And then you're right back to the freaking, you know, hamstring, glute, posterior chain dominant pull. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a perfect method, but I feel like there's a lot of different ways that you can pull and change it up. Like, you're not going to ever have overuse if you're always doing different variations of like, you know, different heights of rack pulls, using band resistance or whatever, or assistance, or doing like deficits or a trap bar or something. There's so many different ways to change it up. A snatch grip or something. So you're not going to be, your nervous system's not going to be primed for every one. So you're not going to be like totally frying your CNS too much if you're always changing up the variations a bit, because it's almost like it's a new skill every time. But overall, you're still hammering all these pulling muscles. Like, just something I'm kind of experimenting with. And I'm not saying it's a good method or it's a bad method. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think it's good to try these things because it might work for some people, it might not. Like for me, for the longest time, I could do the same exercise every day and get a little bit stronger with it. But, you know, obviously, recovery is a little bit different now. And maybe it's a mobility issue too. And I can't do that quite as easily. So it's just finding different tactics, right? But to keep the freaking the I don't know. I don't even know what we're talking. I mean, I got Pampers on my mind now. Your mama made me feel like I'm a strange folk.
No, I just reminded you that the commercial was
you're right.
still on.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I thought you wanted it on. I was just reminding you that that's what you had paused on.
Yeah, you were right. I'm deep in my thoughts. I'm trying to give.
You're not even looking.
I'm trying to give deep insight into how we can all become bulbous freaks, right? You're on the outside looking in. That's why you can see things like, oh, it's a bit strange. We are all like super like locked in right now.
Well, you are, yeah.
Everyone, you guys all are
I'm
too.
sure they would have commented on the
No.
like used whatever Pampers commercial we had.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you took something from this. You'll apply it and become a more like explosively stout specimen. Right? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about improvement. Improvement, finding new techniques. If something's worked for you, like I said before, I'll say it again. You know, comment. Like what works for you? What's something that's strange that works well for you? Because a lot of us probably like, never thought of that before. It's actually a pretty solid tidbit. I should give that a try, right? So, if there's anything you can think of that's worked well for you, manipulating your mindset, different tricks, secret tidbits like that, throw it in the comments. We all will appreciate it. If I discover something new, you bet your freaking buns I will throw it at you. Probably in a video like this. It won't be titled, hey, this put 100 pounds on my deadlift. It'll be sprinkled in some freaking random stupid TV talk. But that's why you gotta watch all 52 minutes of these TV talks, because there might be a freaking hidden gem that you didn't even know was there unless you tune in every single